In this video, I will address three challenges, three ethical challenges in social work research and how to address these things. So, one of the challenges is getting real informed consent. So, people may not entirely know what they're getting 100% into, and so making sure that, you know, the client knows, exactly what's going on, and to make sure that they don't feel pressured. And so, according to the code of ethics, making sure that the client knows uh, what they're getting into and they voluntarily, uh, you know, agree to agree to it. And the licensing rules say that uh, social workers, are to protect the rights of the clients and not exploit, um, any of the rights, and to make sure we're being aware of this and to avoid it. So make sure, we're being clear and straight to the point, and make sure we're, protecting, people groups like, minority groups, um, you know, for, people that may not understand English all too well, make sure we're working with these people so they know exactly what they're getting into. And, at any point they're able to, not participate, making sure that, they feel comfortable. And another research challenge, ethical research challenge, is protecting confidentiality. As social workers are given uh, very sensitive and confidential information, and with that, got to be very careful on how you approach this, and making sure that it stays, confidential between you and that person. Um, Otherwise, it would be violating a lot of legal, laws. And so the code of ethics say that, social workers must protect the client's confidentiality, and explain to them, their limits of confidentiality. Obviously, if there's involvement of harming themselves or, the harming of others, then have to say something. But otherwise, it's confidential, and you have to address that. And what the licensing rules say is that you must follow the HIPAA and mandatory reporting rules. And how we can fix this is, to address and make sure, we say these things to them at the beginning to make sure everything is safe, and tell them the rules of what breaks, the confidentiality thing, such as, the harming of themselves or others. And yeah, making sure those things are clear. And lastly, avoiding, dual relationships. And so, say there's, something going on where, the client, somebody, but you can't really, you got to keep it professional. And so, you may want to say something to them about, someone that that may help them, or, whatever. But this, sort of creates somewhat of a, power imbalance, and it also gets really tricky, and, it gets rid of the professionalism that, you're here for a specific purpose, and, you gotta make sure it's professional. So the Code of Ethics says that social workers must avoid conflicts of interest, and of course not misuse their power, and also remain professional and uphold professionalism. Um, and the licensing rules say that, um, the state boards prohibit, dual relationships, and this could, make the client feel pressured, uncomfortable, and again would break professionalism. And so, make sure, the people, you know, don't recruit your own, clients, and use a neutral person, um, for and consent. Um, yeah, so maintain the professionalism, and yeah.